I'm sure it's happened to you, it's happened to me, it happens to everybody, where your fly line, there you go, you see that? Where your fly line gets wrapped around the rod tip and you can't get it off. You know, you're pulling and you're pulling and pulling, you can't get it off. One of the things you can do, and I'll show you how to do this in a section a little bit later, if you'll take the rod and slap it on the water, the tension from the water a lot of times will take that line and be able to pull it off the end of your rod. Now, if you've tried that and you can't get the line off, you've got a tangle on the end, and I see guys do this. They take the rod, down into the water it goes, into the bottom, and what's down on the bottom? Sand and gravel, just like what's right here. And you're going to get gravel and sand in your rod, in your reel, and it's not good for it to get gravel in there. It messes up your drag system. You know, it gets caught in there and the spool doesn't turn, it gets cut and scratched up. So instead of doing that, and we'll just assume that I'm standing in the water. And remember earlier we used rod sections to put the rod together. We put the bottom two parts, the top two parts together. Well, you can do the same thing if you're in the river. Instead of getting out of the river to get the tangle out, which is another option, of course. You can get out of the stream, lay the rod down on something nice and soft, maybe up on a log or some branches, so you can keep the sand and gravel out of the reel, and then work on a piece. But another thing you can do is put the rod under your armpit, take the rod apart. Again, assume that I'm standing in the water, and we're going to just take the rod apart and then get my tangle out. Again, we've got a nice tangle here. I couldn't get it by slapping it on the water. There. Now, cautious thing about here is you have to make sure that you don't have this situation where the line is wrapped at the sections. So you have to be a little bit cautious there. Just make sure that when you put the two pieces back together, that line goes from guide to guide. All right? A little hint, a little something that makes it a little, and it makes it faster than trying to shove that rod tip down into the ground, into the water, and then trying to undo it that way. Take it apart, work on it. Be real cautious here. You got to make sure you hold it firmly with your arm. Take the rod apart and then fix it from there.